NYC to involuntary commit people suffering a mental health crisis after repeated subway attacks. Now, it's tough because I'm kind of on the fence when it comes to this because there are some people that really do suffer mental health issues that need to be in some of these facilities, but I can't really trust some of these politicians to be enacting these type of laws or regulations because I mean we know how they lock up so-called dissidents and things like that. Look at what's going on in China, and look how the Nazis used to use things like mental health and things like that to lock people away. It could be a slippery slope. So in one hand, I can see a lot of people needing it, but on the other hand, can you really trust? Can you really trust these providers and these leftists and politicians and people like that to do the right thing and put people in those facilities that actually need it? But before we get started, go ahead and hit that like button, share this out so we can get this information out there. Subscribe if you're not already a subscriber, and hit that alarm bell so you know when I'm putting out new stuff. Now, when you hit that alarm bell, press it again so you can change it from personal to all. That way, you get all notifications from when I'm putting out stuff. Also, check out my link tree in the description. It has a link to my Patreon where I talk about things I can't talk about here. It is also a link to my Instagram where I put out even more news. So check that out as well. All right, let's talk about this news. In response to the relentless trend of terrifying subway attacks in New York City, Mayor Eric Adams issued new guidance on Tuesday that allows the NYPD, fire department, and social workers to involuntarily commit people suffering from a quote mental health crisis, the New York Post reported. The order will grant city and state officials the ability to force anyone who appears to be struggling with mental health issues or who is unable to care for themselves into treatment, even if the individual does not pose a danger to the public. Quote, there's often a misconception amongst both police as well as frontline mental health crisis intervention workers that a person with mental illness must present as, quote, imminently dangerous, in order to be removed from the community, Adams stated on Tuesday. This is not the case. Adams hopes the new directive will encourage homeless individuals living on the streets and in the subways to move into the city's shelters or mental health system. Quote, if severe mental illness is causing someone to be unsheltered and a danger to themselves, we have a moral obligation to help them get the treatment and care they need, the mayor said. Before the Tuesday announcement from Adams, police officers, social workers, and mental health treatment teams were trained only to send individuals to court-ordered outpatient treatment if they pose a threat to the public. The mayor noted the city staff would be retrained under the new guidelines. And it says court-ordered outpatient treatment. That is totally different from being committed. I don't really understand what they mean by that. Outpatient is different from being actual committed in a residential facility. Quote, today we are embarking on a long-term strategy to help more of those suffering from severe and untreated mental illness find their way to treatment and recovery, Adams added. The new directive will also set up a hotline for city staff in the field to connect with clinicians. The line will help staff determine if a person they have encountered should be brought into care. Adams also announced that he would push for changes in the state law that will require more extensive mental health screenings at hospitals and lower the requirement to receive inpatient treatment. Deputy Mayor for Public Safety Philip Banks III stated that he believes the public safety depends on adequate mental health services. Quote, for too long, public safety personnel's hands have been tied in getting those in need care before they hurt themselves or others, said Banks. He goes on to say these directives and proposals are a common sense way to clear those impediments and get help for those who need it most. But again, I mean, I like the idea. A lot of people need these services. I work with people that need these services on a daily basis. Some people refuse to do it, but again, the whole involuntary thing, it's really, I'd be hard pressed to force someone into this because when it comes to therapy, if a person doesn't buy in, if someone doesn't want to do the work, then really it's not going to help. Just locking someone up in a facility is not going to help them if they're not willing to put in the work. So, I mean, I don't know. That's why I say I'm kind of on the fence about it. I'm kind of on the fence because some people really do need mental health and need to be put in these facilities. But then again, I can't really trust uh, the system enough to put the right people, the people that need to be in there, in there. I can see them. I could be saying something that online that someone might not like, and might say, "Oh, he got mental health issues. He needs to be involuntarily locked up." I can see things like that happening. So it's kind of hard. That's why I'm kind of on the fence about this. But let me know what y'all think about this. Do y'all think it's a good thing or a bad thing? Leave your comments down below. Like, share, and subscribe. And check out demarcrepublics.com for the latest in news. Until next time, peace.